So today is a new day. I had a night of sleep to actually kind of think some of this stuff through. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time. The heater is blasting away right now. There's nothing really I can do about it. It is like 15 degrees outside. So the garage is just taking a really long time to warm up. But I had some sleep to think about this, and I realized something is that this little guide thing here is actually for the bottom, and the top, obviously the top part of the chain runs along there, and then this is where it returns basically. So for some reason yesterday I had it in my mind the whole time that this is where the top went. Even though you can clearly see there's a roller up here. So what we have to do is we have to raise the engine up even more in order to get the sprocket to sit, you know, roughly like right here in the middle. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but you know, it's definitely going to help the situation if we get this more centered. Which, you know what, I'm definitely okay with, because the way it is right now, the engine is sitting pretty low, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm just getting a little bit worried about ground clearance, especially because we have to run an exhaust under here. So my spare swing arm down here so we can start doing some test fitting. I'm also going to get the throttle body situation down here as well so we can start test fitting that. So I'm just kind of getting worried that we're going to run out of room here, and we might actually have to end up notching this frame out to fit the throttle bodies in. All right, so we are test fitting stuff back and forth, seeing what else we got clearance. So basically, right now, I kind of have this marked a little bit. This is where it still needs to come down a little bit lower, but you know, I got the throttle bodies in now so we can see. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to notch the frame here. Not a huge deal. I will weld in a piece back in there to re-strengthen the stuff up. But unfortunately, there's not really much I can do. It's gonna have to get cut out. And we need to run a filter on this since it's gonna be off-road. It should give a lot more clearance once we notch this out. So I'm gonna get to cutting. All right, so I think I finally have the final placement for this, for the engine. I've just been test fitting stuff back and forth. I had the radiators out. I know if the radiator is gonna fit, the exhaust is gonna fit, because the exhaust runs behind the radiator, obviously. So it's gonna be using some cardboard, and then I'll trace it into metal. This is what's taken the longest amount of time, in my opinion, for this build. It's just been, you know, looking back and forth at the drive line and making sure everything is where it needs to be. I just have this rear end here for test fitting. It's the same exact rear end. It's just a little bit bent, so the axle is just a little bit bent, so I'm not going to use it. We're not going to end up using this suspension anyway, so you know, a lot of the stuff is gonna change, but I just figured it would be kind of important to get the engine to fit good in the stock setup, and then I can worry about modifying the back later on. But for right now, I really wanted to make sure that in the stock form, you know, it was gonna work. And right now it looks pretty promising. So I'm a little bit upset we had to cut this out. I'm definitely gonna have to add some strength back in here, because as soon as I cut this out, I could tell it definitely weakened the frame significantly. So back to work. All right, so we got the first engine mount, just kind of sitting here. Looks pretty good to me. Gonna go trace it into some metal and cut it out. I'm gonna have to do something on the bottom here too. Probably gonna have to cut more stuff out of here, but I really want to get the top mounted, and it'll be great, because then the engine will be stationary at that point. All right, we're making some serious progress today. I just finished up making the engine mount on this side. I already went ahead and welded in the engine mount on the other side. Not the greatest welds in the world. I was kind of nervous. I'm gonna try and do a better job on this side. Show you guys. So we got this piece right here, and then I kind of messed up a little bit over here, but you know, it's together. I don't think this is going anywhere. I just started working on the bottom engine mounts now, so we got ourselves a nice little piece right here. I've just been working on fitting it up here, so getting ready to drill the hole for the bolt. Fitment looks pretty good. One thing that also has been really helping me a lot, I had to destroy a Sharpie to do this. So basically what I've been doing to figure out where the bolt holes need to be is I just take the Sharpie and shove it in this hole here. Let's get it nice and wind up. I try to push it back in here just so it's like barely sticking out there. And then what I do, I'm kind of scared to do this with one hand. So I'll use the mock-up piece just to show you guys. So yeah, I'll take the piece that I made for the engine mount and put it in front of it just a little bit to where it needs to be. And then I'll just slide it into place like that, and then pull it away. And then, as you can see, it has the perfect spot for where the hole needs to go. The Sharpie out, I just take the bolt for the engine mount and just push it back out, you know. It works really good. I'm sure there's easier ways to do this. I'm sure they make something to do this, but for me, I just decided to destroy the Sharpie, and it works pretty good. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and mark that plate so we can drill it. right, so we actually have the rear engine mounts done now. As you can see, they're all finished welded in there. Even over here. It took a little bit longer than normal because on this side I had to weld in another plate on the bottom here because we notched that out so it could fit. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this episode. There's a lot more things that need to get done with mounting the engine still. So the next thing that I need to do is I'm gonna make some sort of I'm gonna have tubing basically come down from here and then go down to the side here, and so we can mount this portion of the engine. Then once that's done, we're going to fix this situation up here. Next episode, probably gonna be working on finishing up these other mounts here for the front, but all right, that's gonna be it. Have a good one, guys.